morning, you guys. It's day 87 as I wipe my camera clean of my Stay Radical 250. My 100-day journey coming to an end here real soon. Been at this for a little while, changing my body, my mind, pretty much whatever else happens. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday yesterday. A lot of people had great festivities. It was fun watching everybody post their pictures because we in the keto carnivore community love to take pictures of our food and post it all over the internet. So hope you had a wonderful time with friends, family, whoever you were with yesterday. It was kind of a quiet day for me. I didn't go anywhere and didn't really have anybody to see, so I just did a lot of things for Jimmy. I relaxed in I had a bath, salt bath that I stayed in for like 2 hours. I watched obviously some football, played some games, watched a movie. Yeah, I just chilled out yesterday. It was a lot of fun. So I did miss you guys though. But I needed yesterday off, not just because it was a holiday, but my toes have busted back open, those blisters. And so I've got a new strategy today to try to protect my toes. I posted a picture of my blisters busted open the other day on my stories. Somebody on Facebook said, "Oh, go to this Reddit page. You're not the only one that has trouble with those Hoka shoes that you wear." Apparently they are well known for giving blisters, so who knew? Anyway, I'm not going to bellyache about it. I've got moleskin over the top, and I got Band-Aids over the top of that. I'm just going to keep trying, guys. Nothing's going to slow me down. 87 days into this journey. That's it. Did I go to a party, says Parkman. No, Parkman, I have nobody local. There's no family. I don't really have any friends local. My friend Brittany's 2 hours away, but she had a lot of stuff with her extended family. So I called a few friends, texted a bunch of people, called my mama, of course. But it was kind of a quiet day in the Jimmy household, and it's all good. So I want to talk to you guys today about a cool topic. It's what I like to do here. Which, by the way, if you like these morning walk-in talks, I am creating a podcast out of the content that I make here. So stay tuned. Early 2022, I will have my first ever, second mindset podcast, because One Step Deeper podcast that I do with Brittany is a mindset podcast too, but first ever solo mindset podcast coming next year, and it's going to come from this content that I do here on these walk-in talks. So stay tuned for that. But today's topic, give people the benefit of the doubt. Thank you, Del Norte. I just saw that you bought a badge. Appreciate that. And you guys can support my work. Hit that little buy a badge thing down there. Helps me out if you like what I do here. Do you give people the benefit of the doubt? I feel like most people don't. Most people would rather jump to conclusions about things. And maybe yesterday at the Thanksgiving dinner table, or during the festivities of the holiday, somebody said something. It almost invariably happens, right? You've always got that one person in your family that likes to stir the pot and likes to say things without really thinking about the ramifications of what they're saying. I know we all have those people, don't we? So, is your first reaction to react and respond to what they say? Or do you give them the benefit of the doubt that there's a deeper meaning to what they meant? Unfortunately, we live in a culture now where we jump to conclusions and we don't just pause and give people the benefit of the doubt. We don't give them an opportunity to explain. And I think that's horrible. I think it's horrible that people are characterized in a certain way that is not who they are at all, is not really the intention of what was said and what was done. But the narrative gets created where people are painted in a certain light And they're not given the benefit of the doubt that they had good intentions, that they had good motives, that they meant for good. And yet it's being looked at as evil, as whatever. And this goes across the board in a lot of parts of our society. When you give people benefit of the doubt, you're showing them love and compassion. And it's a theme song of mine to want to give people love, compassion, care, concern, because by golly, it might be them today, but it could be me tomorrow. And I suppose history with the person matters as well. If they're well known to be a certain way, then maybe you do jump to conclusions. But even those people need the benefit of the doubt, because I think all people can be redeemed, restored, change. That was always tough for me when I would go back home after being gone for a few years, and I'd come back home and I was not given the benefit of the doubt. I was assumed to be the same person in the same mindset and everything as I was when I left. Talking about my dad's house. And so I would go back and it was like there'd be a honeymoon period of a little bit of time where, oh, it's great to have you, and then right back to I was 16 again. And never got the benefit of the doubt that I'm a different person, that I changed, that I'm better. And so I feel like we need to be giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I know there's a lot of hurt that comes from relationship issues. People that have interpersonal relationships of all kinds. Not just love relationship, but family relationship, friendships, acquaintances, coworkers. You go down the list. We all have those things that we have to deal with. And we base our interactions with all those people on how we have interacted with them in the past. And look, I'm the first person to tell you, the way someone acts before is the best predictor of how they're going to act moving forward. But not the only way. People do change. People are given an opportunity to learn from mistakes, to grow from them, to be better. Don't you want to at least give that person a chance to show who they are? A chance to see a different side of them? The only way you can do that is if you give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to tell you about an incident that happened to me earlier this year. So Clubhouse is an app that when it first came out late last year, I got on it about February this year, but late last year it came out. It was a live social media platform. Live meaning you pop into a room and there's people live right there, and it's audio only. No video, it's all audio. It's called Clubhouse, look it up. And it was only available for iPhone users till about 4 or 5 months ago. I think they opened it up to Android then. But earlier in the year, I was pretty active on Clubhouse. In all the keto rooms, a few podcasting rooms, so forth and so on. And there was a moment where someone pulled up something I had written in a comment last year and spread it around to the people in Clubhouse and said, oh my gosh, look at what Jimmy Moore said. And I will admit it was something I said spur of the moment. Last year was a crazy year. And I could see, if that's all somebody saw, how they would be upset by it. But it was just a blip in time. But because somebody sent it out there, doesn't matter all the good that I did on Clubhouse, didn't matter all the great information I was sharing, I was judged based on that one comment, not even like the totality of things I wrote, just one comment wasn't even a post I did. It was just a comment on someone else's post. And somebody had screenshot it. I guess waiting for the moment to try to not give me the benefit of the doubt. So nobody gave me the benefit of the doubt in that. And I tried to make amends. I hosted a room and let people share what they wanted to say. And honestly, I haven't really been active on Clubhouse since. And that's a shame. That's a shame that nobody gave me the benefit of the doubt that maybe last year I was in a not so good headspace. And I wasn't. And it wasn't just the pandemic stuff. It wasn't just the craziness of 2020. It was also the things I was dealing with in my personal life, which I've talked about very extensively. Was going through a lot of things, but nobody gave me that benefit of the doubt. Nobody allowed me that grace, that kindness, that compassion to say, hey, look, I wasn't in a good spot at that very moment. Now, I didn't say anything egregious, but I could see out of context where people might interpret it in another way than what it was intended. But I got no grace. I got no kindness. I got no benefit of the doubt. And in the grand scheme of things, Clubhouse really wasn't a major part of my business. They were all like bragging about, oh, we canceled you. And okay, fine. I'm still doing all my podcasts. I'm still writing books. Didn't really cancel me, but if that's what you want to feel, great. All they would have had to say is, you know what? We all have moments. We all have mistakes that we make. And if it's you today, it'll be me tomorrow. We all go through that. And I was very sincerely sorry. I showed that and expressed that. Didn't matter. But if they had done that, how cool would it have been? How amazing to restore people. And we grew up in a world, I did anyway, where that was the norm. People make a mistake, you don't lambaste them and you don't say they're not allowed to whatever in society. You gave them the benefit of the doubt. Now, if someone repeatedly takes advantage of that benefit of the doubt, okay, maybe at that point you reevaluate that. But I had never given anybody on there any reason to believe the things that they believed about me. They believed it because then the mob mentality came because one person said, oh, I don't like that. And another, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, me too. And it became this cascade where all it needed was just the benefit of the doubt. And I wasn't afforded that. Which, it's cool. Like I said, I've got other things I do in my work. Clubhouse was more of a time suck than it was anything. I did enjoy the relationships that I built on there, and I do hate that there's this perception of me by people on there. But that's out of my control. I really can't do anything about that. All I can do is be me and hope that people give me the benefit of the doubt from the totality of my work and who I am. And I think that's how we need to approach other people too. Give people that benefit of the doubt. Even if you have a negative perception of someone, give them the benefit of the doubt. Allow them to show you a side of themselves that maybe you don't yet see. I just feel like that's the best way we as humans can interact with one another. Always seek out redemption, forgiveness, understanding, clear concern and compassion. Because we all have those moments when we need those things, right? We all have times in our lives when we just hope that people see us for who we really are. Not for a momentary lapse in judgment, not for one little comment taken out of context. See you for who you are and the totality of all that you're about. Think of the most evil person or person that you feel like is less than less than desirable in your life. Think about somebody in your life. Could be a family member, a friend, somebody in your life. Think about them. All right, you got them in your mind. Would you be willing to give them the benefit of the doubt? Would you be willing to say, you know what, there's something behind why they're that way? Could be some unresolved trauma. Could be a lot of things. But we always assign that people are evil and people are irredeemable, unable to be reformed. And I'm sorry, there's nobody like that. There's nobody that deserves totally being cut off. Now, you don't need to be abused in the process of trying to give them compassion and love, and maybe it's not your job to do that for them, but somebody can reach to them. Unfortunately, most people don't have the intellectual or emotional maturity to give love to people that are unlovable. That's why a lot of unlovable people stay bitter, stay to themselves, and they lash out because they never get the love that they want. I watched a movie yesterday. One of the movies that I watched was called Finding You. It's over on Amazon Prime. Go look it up. I'm a romantic comedy kind of guy, but it was a romance story. And in the story, I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but in the story, the female character, the main lead female character, she was in Ireland, and she was put in charge of reading to an elderly nursing home patient. And when she first got in there, that nursing home patient barked at her, told her to get out, you don't belong, get out of here. And she was frightened. She was a 20-something-year-old woman, scared to death. And so she gets out, but then the caretaker said, no, you belong, you should go back in there. She comes back in the next day, get out, I don't want you in here. And at that point, she sits down, starts reading, and and the nursing home old lady was like, get out, nurse, get out. And the nurse comes in and says, well, whether you like it or not, you're stuck with her because she belongs. And so over the course of the movie, they develop a little more. The old lady softens a bit. And then, I don't want to spoil the big punchline of the movie, but there was a big event that the young lady did for the older lady. And at that point, you could see the humanity come on the older lady, because the young lady did not judge her. She gave her the benefit of the doubt. She let her know that she saw the pain and was willing to hear it out. What made her that bitter, that cold, that angry. Beautiful movie. If you need something to do, Finding You is the name of the movie over on Prime Video. But back to this topic, day 87, by the way, of Sabbatical to 50. It is such a gorgeous walk now with all these leaves on the ground. I love how beautiful it is this time of the year. It's a beautiful walk. But warmer today, like mid to upper 40s, but the wind is blowing a little harder today than it has been. So that wind is biting me a little bit. Yes. So what do you think about this topic? Give people the benefit of the doubt. Is this a default of yours? Is this something that you go to and allow them to have that grace that maybe 99.99% of the other people in their life don't give them? Man, what would this world be like if we just gave people the benefit of the doubt? If we gave people second chances, if we gave people an opportunity to speak their mind and share how they feel, maybe it didn't come out the right way, and maybe having an opportunity to clarify would be helpful. With that incident on Clubhouse, I attempted to clarify, and they had already painted this picture of me in their minds, and I was not given that opportunity to explain what I meant. And then they call me like some of the most vile names you can think of. And I'm just going, you don't know my heart, so how can you come to that conclusion? But they sure did. Some of the ugliest things you've ever heard said about me. But I can't control that. So I just distance myself from that. I'm trying to go back in and just take a peek, but it's probably not a wise idea if they're not willing to give the benefit of the doubt. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. I've been talking enough here today. Good morning, Sharon and Linda. Parkman, Bulletproof Coconut, go Jimmy, go. Sunshine, and is that a taco? I can't see what the second one is. I'm gonna stop so I can see it. I have no idea what that second image is. Is it a leaf? I see the sunshine, and then it's like a blob on my screen. A leaf, a football, I can't see what it is. Bulletproof, tell me what that thing is. I do give people the benefit of the doubt because I know that you can't assume what someone is going through behind the scenes. That's the thing. People have stuff going on, and we all have those moments when you're pushed to the brink. Let me set up the one that got me in trouble on Clubhouse. So last year there was all this talk with all the Black Lives Matter marches going on about how white people are the reason why everything is wrong in the world, and white supremacy and white privilege and all this stuff. And I was trying to be as diplomatic as possible and talking about things, and then I would be accused in those comments on Facebook of, see, you're just showing your white privilege, just talking that way. And I was just trying to have conversations, not really, I wasn't interested in all the political arguments that were being made. I was just coming at it from a practical standpoint. And I wrote a comment, this is the one that got me in trouble. I said, you know what, I don't care what color you are. If you work hard and get off your ass and go and do things that you want in your life, then you can actually be anything you want to be, no matter what your race, religion, sex, whatever you are. So I don't buy the excuse that you can't become whatever you want to become in America. And that was deemed as racist. No, it seemed common sense to me, and it had nothing at all really to do with race. I was challenging all races and all creeds and all sexes to go be what you want to be. But people took offense to it. Oh, you're just a white man trying to tell me how I can live my life. And I'm like, no, I'm a guy trying to encourage people to not feel oppressed by your own consciousness. You can be whatever you want to be. But I tried to look at it from their perspective when the uproar happened. And I'm like, I can see why you would feel like that I was calling you guys out. I was not. If you look at the totality of my comments, I was building the point that I was making. And then in that moment, somebody said something really ugly in the comment right before. And so I was being very forceful back to that one guy. Not to the whole world, just to that guy. And that was what was screenshotted. Whew, there's that wind I was telling you about. Screenshotted and then shared with all the people in Clubhouse. So nobody knew that in the midst of me writing that comment, that I'd been pushed in the comments. Nobody knew that I was going through a pretty tumultuous thing in my personal life behind the scenes. And I was in a very vulnerable moment at that moment. But they didn't care. They didn't give me the benefit of the doubt at all. I was just judged for that very moment. And here's the thing about judging people in moments. Is that who they always are? Is that the norm for them? And that's a litmus test about giving people the benefit of the doubt. Is this something that's normal for them? Or is this out of the ordinary? For the people on Clubhouse, they had seen me in rooms. I had been up on stage talking and answering questions about keto and cholesterol and all the things, fasting, and engaged. And not once did I show any proclivity for all the things that they then were accusing me of. And yet, that moment was what they judged me on and did not give me the benefit of the doubt. So, you're right. We can't assume what people are going through behind the scenes as that wind is blowing my little bit of hair straight up. Cancel culture doesn't give the benefit of the doubt. No, I hate that phrase, but it's so stupid. Where is the fine art of forgiveness and redemption and giving people second chances? That used to be the norm. What's funny is these people on Clubhouse thought that they canceled me because in that room that I did to let them express themselves, we canceling you today. Oh, okay. Trying to get me off of my podcast platforms. Good luck with that. Been doing that forever. Trying to keep me from continuing to make content. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm the boss, so I don't know who you're going to complain to. But yeah, cancel culture doesn't give benefit of the doubt. They assume the worst. Always do, don't they? Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you. And I hate that. Why do we see the worst and assume the worst in people? It's weird to me. Reactionary, says Del Norte. Then I have to breathe and think about how I respond, which is in my control. Yes, that is how people, when you're pushed, when something is said, your first inclination in your brain is to react and respond. But if you can pause and even turn it back on them and say, that's interesting, tell me more. And maybe in telling more, they get to clarify it a little more, and then your reaction would have been overblown. Plus, we have to remember that people always filter things through their own life experiences, through their own interpretation of the language that is used, and it's not always the intention. When I wrote on Facebook last year that if you just work hard, get off your ass and go after the dreams of your heart, I never imagined in a million years somebody would say, well, that's white privilege and you're a racist for telling people to get off their ass. I'm going, huh? Like, that didn't even make any sense to me why it was interpreted that way, but that was through their filter of how they saw the world. It's a weird dynamic when you kind of start looking into when you say something or you hear someone say something, everybody's filtering everything through their own life experiences, mindsets, and let's say it out loud, propaganda that they listen to and get exposed to. Because if you have preconceived notions of things based on what you've heard and that thing that you believe, whether it's true or not, if you believe it, it's a part of who you are and your psyche. You're just going to believe it because that's your worldview. It's a little bit of what's wrong in the world right now is people have differing worldviews, but they don't know how to accept that other people have different ones than them, and that's okay. Give people the benefit of the doubt that their life experience is a different one from yours, which leads them to different conclusions about what they believe and why they believe it, right? No one is perfect. I've had people cancel me over nothing, no matter how much I cared for them. Yeah, bulletproof, same thing happened to me. I lost about 3/4 of my friends in the midst of that, going through the difficult life situation I went through. About 3/4 of my friends, and that's okay. I don't think I've missed any of them because they've been replaced by stronger, true friends, genuine friends. And I have fewer friends now because of that, which is cool. I learned in the midst of that that I had too many people that I described as friends, but not enough actual friends. At that point, I think I had maybe 2 or 3 genuine good friends when I lost all those people. And I leaned on them heavily for a little while until I started developing more. Now I can confidently say that I have about 7 or 8 strong, good, absolute, amazing, die-hard friends. And I've got several dozen that are good friends that I would definitely call on. So I'm very blessed. I realize that I have that privilege now. Good morning, guys. Being canceled is a badge of honor. Well, I always tell people I don't know what you mean by cancel, because I'm not going to stop doing my work. I guess you could talk bad about me and create this image of me to other people, which is what happened on Clubhouse. One person sent that comment, passed it around to everybody, and got them all worked up. And they canceled me. But I'm like, I don't stop doing my work. I still come on Instagram Live. I still do all my podcasts. I'm still writing books. If you're trying to cancel me, you didn't do a very good job of it. Not sure what the point was, other than they wanted to have their moment. Hope they enjoyed it, because it's over to me. Del Norte says, forgiveness shows good inner control. Forgiveness is hard, especially when you feel like you've been done wrong. But forgiveness is easier when you find understanding and when you realize that there are moments that everybody goes through. There are. We need to be kind to people when they're going through things. Bulletproof says, having very close people cancel me over nothing led me down a mental health path that I enjoy so much. Yeah, I mean, I went through a similar experience where people didn't like decisions that I made in that incident that happened over the last 2 years, and they made their choice about what they wanted to believe. And if they no longer wanted to be in my life, I wasn't going to sit there and beg them to be in my life, even though for many of those people, and a couple in particular, I had played really integral roles in their lives, financially, been there for them through difficult circumstances. But then when the tables were turned and I needed them for emotional support, they were gone. They just basically ghosted me. So that's tough. That's tough. They didn't give me the benefit of the doubt that what I was going through was difficult. And the specific thing that I went through, some people only see it from one side of the issue, and they don't realize that the way they see it on one side is exactly how it feels on the other side. So that was a tough pill to swallow, that I wasn't given the benefit of the doubt that I too was hurting. And I was really bad hurting and needed support and needed people in my life that I trusted, that I thought were my friends, to step up. And they didn't. They weren't there. But like I said, I got beyond that, and now I have friends who do give me the benefit of the doubt about things. So in the end, it works out, doesn't it? Funny thing is, people will cancel best friends and then remain friends with people they never liked. You become worse than a stranger. It is amazing if you have strong opinions, points of view. People are so quick to judge one thing that you say. Meanwhile, somebody can be just a wayfarer friend, never rock the boat, just kind of go through the motions. And those people stick around. Those are the people I don't want in my life anymore. Those wishy-washy kind of people. So one thing I like about the girl I'm dating right now, she is not wishy-washy. She's very direct. Jimmy likes direct. And if she's feeling something, she says it. If she has a concern, she talks about it. There is no, I wonder what she thinks. No, I know exactly what she thinks. Because she's telling me. And she most certainly would give me the benefit of the doubt. Because we have that back and forth. And I'm the same way with her, by the way. We have that back and forth relationship of we know where each other's coming from. So the benefit of the doubt is always going to be there. Sharon likes the Finding You movie. Yes, go look up that movie, Finding You. About this girl that plays the violin, goes over to Ireland. And on the way over, she's on the plane with a famous movie star who was going to shoot a movie in Ireland, a dragon movie. And they end up, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but they end up talking and being together a lot. And I'll let you imagine what happens before you go watch the movie. Some of the best friends can have the strongest disagreements, which is counter to the cancel culture. Yeah, my best friend, it's no secret, I talk about her all the time, is Brittany Davis. I co-host the One Step Deeper podcast with her. She's my very best friend. She's 20 years old, younger than me. And so she's on the younger side of millennial, and I'm a Gen Xer. And we have some very basic philosophical differences on a lot of things. And that's okay. The way we work it out is exactly what you just said, Bulletproof. She has her say. I have my say. Then we have counter arguments to each other. But then at the end of it, we're like, oh, cool. I didn't even think about how you could see it from that perspective. And vice versa. There's many a times that I've said to her that I'm glad she's in my life because I have an understanding of things that go outside my own worldview and how I see the world. And I don't judge her because she believes differently than me. In fact, we both crave having things different, which is, I think, why we work so well as friends, is we are very different on a lot of the ways we think. But different doesn't mean wrong or bad. It just means different. And we give each other the benefit of the doubt based on those differences. One of my longest, closest friends and I stayed in touch through messages. We exchanged about politics. We're complete opposite, but that kept us friends forever. I remember Justice Scalia and RBG. Yeah, they were really good friends. One of the most conservative Supreme Court justices ever, Anthony Scalia, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, probably one of the most liberal justices ever, and they were best friends. I remember back during the Clinton years, there were two campaign strategists, James Carville and Mary Madeline. James Carville was Bill Clinton's campaign manager, and Mary Madeline was an advisor to the Bush campaign, George H.W. Bush. This is in the early 90s. And they were enemies in the political realm, those two. And at the end of the campaign and Bill Clinton got elected president, guess what happened to James Carville and Mary Madeline? They got married. They became a couple. They fell in love. How in the hell did that happen? two diametrically opposed points of view in the way they think and philosophy of life, and they become a couple. They did so because they gave each other the benefit of the doubt about why they believe what they believe, and they saw something that went beyond that. It was a beautiful love story, even though it's strange. And I just don't see that happening in this day and age, unfortunately. Oh, the emoji was footprints. Okay, so sunshine and footprints. For some reason, it didn't look like 2 feet side by side. I couldn't tell what that was. Thank you for that. I agree with your victimhood statement. People would rather claim victim than achieve their goals. Yeah, and I hate this. You can't in life because ... You tell somebody they can't, no matter what the reason. You tell somebody they can't, most people will crumble and believe it. Well, I can't, so why should I even try? That victimhood mentality serves no good purpose. But if you tell people you can, if you just apply yourself and work hard at it, become the best at it, constantly working on that skill to be better and better and better, you give people that hope and that encouragement. That's the American way. Hope and encouragement that you can literally be whatever you want to be. That was the crux of my message that I had, that I ended up getting in trouble over on Clubhouse, was I find hope in anyone. You just got to apply yourself, put in the work. Look, I'm not a lazy person. I work pretty hard doing multiple podcasts and writing books and making content constantly. And so I hear people say they can't because ... And I go, yeah, with that attitude, you're right. You sure can't. But you're capable if you're willing to put in the effort. Somehow telling people to work hard is a racist statement now. That one shocked me to no end. To tell someone just work hard and you can accomplish whatever you want. A very inspiring and motivational comment. And then people say that's racist to tell people to work hard. How's that work? I still don't, to this day, how is telling people work hard and go after your dreams in any way a racist statement? Race doesn't even come into the statement at all. I guess because I'm a older white guy, I'm not allowed to say those things. I don't know. I stopped trying to figure out the PC way of doing things or the woke way of doing things. I just live. And if people don't like it, it is what it is. I'm the boss. Yes, I am the boss. I own my business. If people don't like what I say and do, then they will speak. Speak by not watching my stuff, not consuming my content, stop listening to my podcast, stop reading my books. But that hasn't happened. So there must be people that like what I do. Del Norte, am I hurt by what happened in Clubhouse? I don't know if I'm so much hurt as I am bewildered, because I wasn't given the benefit of the doubt, and I should have been. And even to this day, there are people on there that think I'm a racist and all kinds of vile names. And I'm going, nobody ever gave me the benefit of the doubt. Nobody has seen the totality of all the things that I've done all throughout my career, not just the last year, but the last 17 years. So all of that just goes away because of one comment that you read out of context. So not really hurt, just bewildered, not understanding how one little thing like that can get people in a tizzy. Now, at the end of the day, it's irrelevant. Clubhouse was a nice addition to what I was doing, but it was not what I was doing. still the totality of what I do is podcasting, book writing, engaging in live videos like this one. This is what I do. Clubhouse was just an aside. So at the end of the day, it didn't end me quite like they hoped. And it's just such a shame. I hate being misunderstood and misinterpreted and lied about. I guess that's the thing that's probably hurts the most is, why you gotta lie about me? Anybody that knows me knows I don't have a racist bone in my body. But that image is there. And I can't control how some people view me. That's not really my job. My job is to live my life with integrity and be who I am openly, authentically. And that's what I do on a daily basis. How you see me is really none of my business. That's all yours and what you choose to believe. Bulletproof says, forgiveness is hard, but I'd rather work on that than live a life full of hate and anger. Oh, and resentment, and let all that stuff build in you. You're so right. And I lived a lot of my life lamenting my past, feeling angry about what happened to me, a lot of my life. And since I've shifted my mindset around, I forgave myself. I started showing love and compassion for myself. And then that sprung from there. Loving other people, showing kindness to them, being generous with time and money. I like who I am now. And it's a lot more peaceful. And I think that's all that most of us want. Bulletproof says, true colors will come out eventually, and karma is a B. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't want vengeance on anyone. But if you show hate and unforgiveness in your heart, don't be surprised if that circles back around you sooner than later. Hello, Ashton. Thanks for being here. If you just joined us, we are on day 87 of my sabbatical to 50. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday here in America. It's so funny, people in the United States forget that other parts of the world do not celebrate Thanksgiving. I got to be in Australia in 2012 on Thanksgiving Day. I was doing a speaking tour, my very first ever speaking tour. And where was I? Was it Adelaide, Brisbane? I forget. A lot of it. Oh, it was in. I was in Perth, Australia, on. Yes, Perth. Sorry, I was trying to figure out it's on the west coast of Australia, Perth, and there was this sweet girl that lived there, and she came out to one of our events, and we ended up having a tourist day where we could go look around and everything. And so we were at a farmer's market type place, and she bought a little miniature turkey for me to have. She's like, oh, you're American and it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. She gave me a turkey. I was like, whoa, that was so kind. But she's like, yeah, we don't celebrate that here in Australia. And I had several yesterday when I posted my Thanksgiving post. Well, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK, but so yeah, American holiday, guys. Although I do think you should be thankful year round, not just one day a year. But that's just me. Del Norte, keep being strong. Haters want to hate because it does something for them. Yeah, look, I didn't survive 17 years online by being beat down and defeated by haters. I have come to the conclusion that haters are just people that have incredible hurt in their life. They need somebody to just give a damn about them. And so while it seems like they're lashing out at you, what they're really doing is lashing out at the circumstances in their own life and the hurts that they're going through and the unresolved traumas that they've never been able to resolve. And when you look at people who spew that hate in that lens and through that prism, it changes everything about who they are. No longer do you take it personally when they say vile, ugly things to you. You now have in your heart, oh, I wonder what they're going through. I wonder what hurts they have. And I wonder who could give them some compassion and a kind word, like a cold drink of water in a hot summer's day. That's the way I see them now. It changes your perspective entirely when you do that. People who assume what others have gone through often haven't gone through their own internal issues. No, when you jump to conclusions and you have no heart for people and the things they happen to deal with, and you have no clue, why would you do anything but jump to conclusions and not give people benefit of the doubt? It's a weird part of the human experience that we default to thinking the worst when I think we should default to expecting the best. But for some reason, our brains love to default to that, thinking about the worst possible thing in people. We can all change that on an individual basis. All of us. We have that power. I can easily complain about my past and how I was not privileged being the fattest kid at school. I'm no victim, and now I'm getting healthier every day. Yeah, I could literally say the same thing. Look, my dad beat the crap out of me physically and emotionally for 3.5 years. And because of that, ... fill in the blank. And I could make that my excuse. I refuse to let that be my reason for being anything less than what I'm supposed to be in my own heart and mind. I have expectations for myself, and playing the pity party and the victim is not included in those things. Life is too short to waste time with hate and negativity. It doesn't do any good, nor does it solve anything, says Ashton. No. It's why I try to stay very positive in all of my work, because I feel like that's all we see elsewhere is the negative and people biting at each other. I'm not interested in all that. That's just tomfoolery, for a lack of a better term. Let people do what they're going to do. But for me, I choose to uplift people, encourage people, be a positive light for people, be a voice for people that are voiceless. 2022, guys, I'm going to double down on that. All of that is just a part of who I am, and it's a part of who I enjoy being the most. So we're going to talk a lot more about those things in the new year. Del Norte says, your face looks thinner. Do you notice the changes? Yeah, I do. Obviously, anyone going on a health journey that's doing all the things that I'm doing, you have expectations of a little more than what actually happens. And I'm aware of that the brain always, no matter what you do, you wished it was a little more. Honestly, I've been at this 87 days, and I feel like I should have lost more in the belly, but the belly's just being stubborn. So I have lost in the belly, not to take away from what has happened, but I'm hoping as I continue on, and then once this 100 days is over in a couple weeks, keep going after that as well, that something will dramatically move. But I'm not unhappy about this, if that's what you're asking. It's been a good journey. If nothing else, it has shifted me into regularly doing a walk. I was not doing that before. So if none of the other things matter, this is one thing that's going to stick. If I can keep my toes from blistering so much, I'm going to keep doing this. And I thought yesterday, man, I really need to flip that tire soon so I can start getting that juice going and getting into that habit as well, because I did get so strong 3-4 years ago when I first started flipping the tire, and I loved it. And then my life fell apart 2.5 years ago. So I do want to get back to that soon. Bulletproof says, I've heard the quote, don't let others hurt you again by replaying the thoughts. They hurt you once, don't let them hurt you again. Well, that's easier said than done, because I have not a photographic memory, but I have a brain that remembers things like a movie. So incidents from my past, and I'm having a bunch of them as I'm saying this, fly through my head right now from all parts of my past. Little movie snippets, little clips on YouTube, so to speak, that play in my head. So easier said than done of, well, just don't think about them. Well, yeah, good luck with that. That's not how my brain works. People who are positive like you attract masses of people to the positive energy. No one wants to watch someone negative. Yeah, I agree with that, by the way. I think we look for people that give us that feeling. It's not even what they say. It's a little bit of how they say it, but it's just the vibe, the energy. And I've been very fortunate to always have this high energy personality. It's just who I am. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that being who I am. I guess that's what's made me good at my job podcasting for so long, is people feed off that energy that I do. And then my guests on my podcast, all of them almost always say, whoa, like that was fun. That was an experience getting to talk to you, and you're so natural and it feels good and I could get my message out. And so yeah, you're right. People are attracted to that kind of thing. Whereas if they were just negative all the time, like there's this guy, what's his name? Cole, that does the snake diet. Oh my gosh, dude. He's got an incredible program. I like the snake diet, but he has such a raunchy mouth and he's very harsh in the way he talks. I get it. It's probably a shtick to get people's attention, but I watched about 1 minute of Cole when he first came out and I went, nope, that is not for me. Love his diet, love kind of what he's preaching as far as his message, but the packaging, oh my gosh, dude. Whew. Take a chill pill, because it's a little too much. Love the journey. Jimmy, you've helped motivate me. Thank you for that. Thank you, Del Norte. Bulletproof says, yeah, the snake guy is terrible, horrible. Well, his information is great, but his presentation it leaves a lot to be desired. So Courtney says, I can't comment anymore, only give questions on the tab. There's a little question tab down there. I don't know why, Courtney. I'm getting all kinds of comments from people. I don't know why you can't comment. And I haven't blocked people from being able to comment. But guys, if you joined in late, day 87 of my Stay Batical 250. 2 weeks from today will be my very last day of this Stay Batical. And I'll probably take a few weeks off during the holidays from coming on Instagram. But then I'll come back in the new year with more walk and talks. I'm still going to figure out what to call it. Walk and talk sounds so pedestrian, and I don't do boring, so we'll come up with something. But I'm probably going to repurpose some of the videos that I've already done and shorten them down, like tighten them up, so that maybe the ultimate podcast is around 30 minutes worth of content. That's going to be my goal for whatever the title we call this podcast. So that's the goal for the new year. I'll keep doing these and you'll get to see them in their totality in real time, and then they will be available to listen in podcast format if we can pull this off, to get to the crux of the key moments in these walk and talks. I really enjoy this, by the way. I love my podcast with Brittany, One Step Deeper podcast. I really love doing that show, and she and I have a chemistry that makes that show special. But I feel like I have so much more to say, and so this gives me an outlet for that. So thank you. Watch the snake guy if you want a heart attack. Well, he is very harsh when he effing bleep 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 talks, and if you can put up with the effing bleep 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 fatso bleep bleep. He's very irreverent, let's just put it that way. He must have military background or something, because it's rough. First time I ever heard him, I'm like, dude, take a Xanax. But it is what it is. Looking forward to your new creative journey. Thank you. Snake juice sounds insane. Well, it's not literal juice from snakes. Go look it up. And if you want to wake up yourself, go watch Cole on his YouTube channel. You'll see what I mean. Brittany says, sounds like my kind of guy. Well, yes and no. Yes, you like the direct approach, Brittany. I'm going to leave it to you to look up, Brittany. I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's just say what I know about you, you ultimately would be like, ugh. He's a little bit too much toxic masculinity, probably for you. He's not as charming as David Goggins, let's just put it that way. So I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And yeah, it's just a chill out day for me. Good morning. So day 87 today, on my way to 100, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you missed any of the past episodes, pop on over to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Use the hashtag StayBaticalTo50. You'll find it. And then at my website, livinlavitalow-carb.com/staybatical. Any final thought? Oh, Bulletproof Coconut. Interview the snake guy, Jimmy. Actually, I did reach out to Cole, and he called me a series of names that had something to do with fat motherfucking asshole. So there is that. I did interview the 30 bananas a day guy, Harley Johnstone. This is a fun story before I get out of here. Harley Johnstone runs this YouTube channel. He's a little irreverent as well. Not quite as bad as Cole, but he's very bombastic on camera. That's his shtick. And so, full fruitarian vegan guy. And I'm a high-fat keto guy at the time when they interview him. And I expected him to be incredibly rude to me and da-da-da. He wasn't. He was very, very kind to me, actually. Now, he said some stupid stuff, but he was kind. Now, I had a vegan doctor on, Dr. John McDougall. I call him Dr. John McDumbass. And Dr. McDougall was incredibly rude to me. Episode 686 of the Livin' La Vida Low Carb Show. Go look it up on my website, llvlc.com. Go look up episode 686 if you need a good laugh today. Because I've never been so insulted in all my life. He had a lot of preconceived notions about me, and most certainly did not give me the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I'll talk to anybody. I was willing to talk to Cole and give him a chance to talk about his program, but he couldn't stop yelling at people and calling them fat asses and dumbasses and whatever. All right, Cole, you do your thing. Jimmy is the opposite of Cole. I try to be kind, gentle, put a smile and positivity on things. Not that I'm fake about that, I'm sincere in it. I think we need a little bit of both. Maybe not to the extreme of Cole, but a little bit that challenges you. You guys are so fun. Yeah, I did a sped up version. Bulletproof reminded me. If you go on YouTube and type in Jimmy Moore, John McDougall, Chipmunk Edition, you will hear that I sped up that interview. It's about a half an hour interview, and I sped it up where it was only about 20 minutes. So if you want to hear me and Dr. McDougall sound like chipmunks, that might be a nice little comedy show for you today. But day 87, guys, out here doing my thing. As always, those things that I did to cover up the blisters seem to be helping because I'm not in pain from the blisters today. So that's a good thing. Can't break his character, it will lose him money. Oh, talking about Cole and 30 bananas a day, and Dr. McDougall for that matter. The character you see is the real McCoy, I promise you. People are always so surprised when they meet me in person. Wow, you're just like you are on video. I'm like, am I supposed to be different? I guess enough people are different when you meet them in person. Brittany is on here, and Hank is on here. A couple others have met me in person, but the rest of you never met me in person. You would not be surprised or shocked when you meet me that I'm exactly the same way as I am talking to you right now. I don't get why people have to play a character online. What you see is what you get. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here for now. Go enjoy this Black Friday. Have fun. Enjoy your weekend. I am going to try to go live again over the weekend. I'm going to remind you I go live a little bit later than I do during the week, which is typically around 7:30, 8 o'clock. It's usually closer to like 11 or 12 when I go live on the weekend. So bear with me. We'll see you tomorrow there. Brittany says he is exactly the same. I don't know if that's a good statement or a bad statement. I see my friend Christina Hess just got on here too. Christina will also tell you that what you see on camera is exactly who I am in person. I don't pretend to be anybody other than who I am. Just got out of my F45 workout. Gonna walk with you. Well, I'm done now, Christina. I just finished 4 miles, or I'm at the end of the 4 miles. But thanks for joining in. And guys, thank you for watching. I will be back again soon. Check it out, Stay Batical to 50 hashtag all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and livinlavitalowcarb.com/Stay Batical. Got them all listed there as well. So thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye, guys.